Hello everyone, it's Theme Park Avenue, I'm Eric, and continuing in Universal Orlando reviews today, we're reviewing Shrek 4D. Let's get it right off the bat. This is one of my least favorite attractions in the parks. This is Universal Orlando reviews. Before we get into the review, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you know when new reviews and other videos come out. Now, before we really get into the review, a bit of information on this. So, Shrek 4D, it's a theater in the Production Central area of Universal Studios, Florida. Some may not consider it like a ride or attraction or simulator. It's kind of a show in a way, but I think because the seats move, and Universal really wants you to say it's a ride, I'm going to be counting it for these reviews. And I'm going to be reviewing it here, so I should also point out, first of all, that I'm a pretty big fan of Shrek. I like Shrek a lot. So the fact that I don't like this ride tells you that it's probably not all that great. This might get a little ranty at points, but these are going to be my thoughts. So first of all, you go in this room at a certain point after waiting for however long, and Pinocchio and the magic mirror tell you about how Lord Farquaad's ghost is back or something like that. I'm just going to say, the employee I had when I did this clearly did not want to be there, and it made for the most pathetic pre-show in the entire park. And that includes Fast and Furious. I'm not joking. So that was really bad. Then we get in the theater, and the screens and animation are fine. Nothing noteworthy, nothing bad or good. So let's get to the ride. So the whole thing, actually, I should point out that the actual movie is available on Netflix. Kind of weird, and it's not exactly the most well-respected. A lot of people don't love it, think it's not that funny. So the first thing you'll notice is that there's the onion carriage, and Fiona's crying because of the onion thing, and that's a joke that goes on for a while. At a certain point, Fiona gets kidnapped by Felonious, who is this guard that works for Lord Farquaad, and then Shrek and Donkey have to go find her, and there's a few references, maybe one or two funny gags, like this one Matrix reference I kind of liked. Now, the worst gag in the whole thing for me was when Donkey said, "I feel dead people," when Lord Farquaad went by him. A reference to the Sixth Sense, for those who don't know. And yeah, that's pretty lame. The pop culture references don't work as well here as they do in some of the better Shrek movies. So, one person actually once told me not to be so hard on this ride as it's supposed to be for kids. The first thing I'll point out is that I don't really think about the demographic all that much when I'm reviewing a ride because it's based on my preference. However, this ride is not for kids. It's one of the least suitable for kids in park, in my opinion, honestly. There's certain things about it that would terrify most, like a 3D section where a spider gets blown toward you. That's gonna scar some kids. The whole thing is about Lord Farquaad trying to kill Fiona so they can be eternally together. That's pretty dark, honestly. That's darker than the actual Shrek movies. I'm sure most kids would be alright with it, but there's definitely some where I think they would not like that. Now, something I have mentioned, Shrek in general. I've talked about Shrek. However, I have not talked about the 4D part yet. So I mentioned 3D elements, that's a thing. And there's like maybe one or two water effects. The worst part is when Shrek's riding in a horse, or things like that. The seats bump really, really hard, backwards and forwards, and it actually is kind of painful. Like, this is the most painful ride in the park, no doubt. So the fact that it manages to be both mildly boring and painful is kind of an accomplishment. I really, really don't like this ride. It's just not that fun to me. I'm sure some enjoy it, and that's fine, but for me, it's not that funny. The story's not engaging. It's just a motion simulator, but painful. It's essentially if you take Despicable Me Minion Mayhem and make it so the seats hurt you. And also the pre-show is bad, because that pre-show, actually I forgot to mention in that review, is actually pretty decent. So overall, I recommend ride it once if you're interested, and probably never do it again. If you enjoy it, do it more times if you want, but I think even if you do like this ride, there are much better ones you can wait in line for. Except for Fast and Furious. We'll get to that in the new review soon, though. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed this video, comment your thoughts down below, subscribe so you know when new videos come out, I'll see you next time.